Hello, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are going through the books of the Bible, Old and New Testament, plus the Apocrypha, using the Good News Bible. We're almost finished with the Old Testament. We're on the book of Nahum. If you had tell me about the book of Nahum in the Old Testament, I would have said, I have no idea. I didn't even know the book of Nahum was in the Old Testament. So, I'm beginning to understand that, and I believe this wholeheartedly because I have 1,000 books, that, where the Bible does say here a little, there a little, and the Holy Spirit takes you to whatever the book is. I mean, like, I'm still going through this book, the Afro Fantasy Walking Tree Oracle. There's some information in here that's pretty interesting, right? So it's not just the Bible, it's lots of other books that we need to read. However, you should at least have the basic knowledge of the Bible. I do for the New Testament because I went to a church for 15 years called the Church of Christ. I call it my Sunday, Wednesday religion, and that's all that it was about. I could tell you all kinds of information about the New Testament. And all of the stories of the Old Testament that are the popular stories, but not like these little books like this. And they're not so little in meaning and understanding and prophecy. So that's why I'm reading it. Just so I read it. I know it. At least I know it. And there may be something here that, or maybe somebody listening, I don't know, who, it's not that easy to do this. It's not. It's commitment. And it's easier to listen to somebody else do it until you can do it for yourself. But in all of this, we need to at least, at a minimum, read what's here, and then study it and add different information from different books. But at a minimum, you need to know what's here. So here we are. We're doing the minimum amount that we need to do at least know what's here. So we're on the book of Nahum. And I usually will go through the Haley Bible's Handbook and read what it says. It's a lot of historical information, but it's, it doesn't hurt to read it. So it talked about how Nahum was one of the two prophets that had something to do with Nineveh. We read about Jonah. We know about Jonah and the big fish, right? This is Nahum. He's also prophesying about Nineveh. And then there's all these little pictures of Nineveh in this book, the ruin of Nineveh. And then, they're trying to let you know this is not just, fake. This is real. So, a view of a wall of the ruin of Nineveh and the ruins of ancient Nineveh in Iraq is what they're saying, looking northwest from the Yamas Mound. Right, I think that was it for Nineveh. Yeah. But yeah, it's always good to just reference what you have and what the Most High sends you to reference. So here we go. The book of Nahum is short, 3 chapters. Here we go. So the book of Nahum is a poem. That's a poem. Okay. Let's read it like a poem. Celebrating the fall of Nineveh, the capital city of Israel's ancient and oppressive enemy. Okay. So, we read one of these books. It was like, don't celebrate, your enemy destruction, This is like, nah, man, no. We gonna celebrate this. We've been waiting for this. Okay. Oh, gosh. The capital city of Israel's ancient and oppressive enemy, the Assyrians. The fall of Nineveh, near the end of the 7th century BC, is seen as a judgment of God upon a cruel and arrogant nation. So, listen to what it's saying. What other cruel and arrogant nation do you know of? I won't say who, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So it can be destroyed. It could fall. And we see that with Rome. Rome fell, a lot of nations, they fall. They rise and they fall. And then I read in the Haley's Bible Handbook, that Nahum, I think that's how you say it. His name is in the word Capernaum. Capernaum means the village of Nahum. Right? And Capernaum was the center of Yahushua's ministry. So that's all interesting, right? So here we go. Obviously, this is a poem, so let's kind of take it from that angle that it's a poem. So this is a message about Nineveh, the account of a vision seen by Nahum, who was from El-Kosh, the Lord's anger against Nineveh. The Lord God, let's say the Most High. The Most High tolerates no rivals. Tell you. He punishes those who oppose him. In his anger, he pays them back. So that's why you don't have to worry about it. God's got it. The Most High does not easily become angry. And he is powerful and never lets the guilty go unpunished. Where the Most High walks, storms arise. Whew. The clouds are the dust raised by his feet. You know, the clouds are looking different these days. He commands the sea and it dries up. He makes the rivers go dry. The fields of Bashan wither. Mount Carmel turns brown and the flowers of Lebanon fade. Mountains quake in the presence of the Most High. Hills melt before him. The earth shakes when the Most High appears. The world and all its people tremble. When he is angry, who can survive? Who can survive his terrible fury? He pours out his flaming anger. Rocks crumble to dust before him. The Most High is good. He protects his people in times of trouble. He takes care of those who turn to him. Like a great rushing flood, he completely destroys his enemies. Oh, wow. He sends to their death those who oppose him. What are you plotting against? What are you plotting against the Most High? He will destroy you. No one opposes him more than once. Like tangled thorns, dry straw, you will be burned up. I saw somewhere when I was looking at this, it said some ancient translations, his enemy, Hebrew, its place. What A? A. Here's A. It's B. A. Some ancient translations, his enemies. Like a great rushing flood, he completely destroys his enemies. Hebrew, its place. B, verse 10, in Hebrew is unclear. And that's very important. Everything. I don't care what you're reading. I know I'm reading this from a more plain English book, but even if you're reading from the King James, or I got the 1619 version of this. So this is I'm sorry, not 1619, that's in my head. 1611 edition of the King James Bible. Let's go there. Let me show you what it looks like. If you've never seen it, and if you've never seen it, what this looks like. Isaiah. This is what it looks like. There was no U. There was no U. So it's a V. There was no J. So they are I's. Like Psalms. That's how Psalms was. So so there has been so many translations of this. You have to go to the Most High, and you have to ask for His understanding and blessings for you to be able to unravel the mystery. Put the puzzle pieces where they belong, right? So I decided I'm going to read something that is easy to understand, and then go and reference it back in other books if need be. But okay, so I said all that to say this. It's important, not just Hebrew, but Paleo Hebrew. They've even changed the Hebrew. They even changed that. So, I've started to study the Paleo Hebrew, and how they were pictures, and why they were pictures, and what the pictures meant. So, a lot to learn, a lot to study. Start somewhere. Just like me, I'm starting somewhere in all this. So, verse 11. For you, Nineveh, there came a man full of wicked schemes, who plotted against the Most High. This is what the Most High says to his people Israel. Even though the Assyrians are strong and numerous, they will be destroyed and disappear. My people, I made you suffer, but I will not do it again. I will now end Assyria's power over you and break the chains that bind you. I wonder if he says, I made you suffer, but I will not do it again. Well, he made us suffer for 400 or 500 years here in America. It's interesting. This is what the Most High has decreed about the Assyrians. They will have no descendants to carry on their name. I will destroy the idols that are in their temples of their gods. I am preparing a grave for the Assyrians. They don't deserve to live. Look, a messenger is coming over the mountains with good news. He's on his way to announce the victory. People of Judah, celebrate your festivals. Celebrate your festivals. And give to the Most High what you solemnly promised him. The wicked will never invade your land again. They have been totally destroyed. Chapter 2, the fall of Nineveh. Nineveh, you are under attack. The power that will shatter you has come. Man the defenses, guard the roads, prepare for battle. The Most High is about to restore the glory of Israel, as it was before her enemies plundered her. The enemy soldiers carried red shields and wear uniforms of red. They are prepared to attack. Their chariots flash like fire, their horses prance. Chariots dash wildly through the streets, rushing back and forth in the city squares. They flash like torches and dart about like lightning. The officers are summoned. They stumble as they press forward. The attackers rush to the wall and set up the shield for the battering ram. The gates by the river bust open. The palace is filled with terror. The queen is taken captive. Her servants moan like doves and beat their breast in sorrow like water from a broken dam. The people rush from Nineveh. Stop, stop! The cry rings out, but no one turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. The city is full of treasure. Nineveh is destroyed, deserted, desolate. Hearts melt with fear, knees tremble, strength is gone, faces grow pale. Where now is the city? Where now is the city that was like a den of lions? The place where young lions were fed? Where the lion and the lioness would go and her cubs would be safe? The lion killed its prey and tore it to pieces for his mate and her cubs. He filled his den with torn flesh. Look at that picture. Wow. That is a mighty picture right there. The fall of Nineveh. I am your enemy, says the Most High. I will burn up your chariots. Your soldiers will be killed in war, and I will take away everything that you took from others. The demands of your envoys will no longer be heard. Chapter 3. Doomed is the lying, murderous city full of wealth to be looted and plundered. Listen, the crack of the whip, the rattle of the wheels, the gallop of the horses, the jolting of the chariots, horsemen charge, swords flash, spears gleam. Corpses are piled high, dead bodies without number. Men stumble over them. Nineveh, the whore, is being punished. Attractive and full of deadly charm, she enchanted nations and enslaved them. The Most High says, I will punish you, Nineveh. I will strip you naked and let the nations see you in all your shame. I will treat you with contempt and cover you with filth. People will stare at you in horror. Oh, all who see you will shrink back. They will say, Nineveh lies in ruins. Who has any sympathy for her? Who will want to comfort her? I see that coming for us in the U.S. I see it coming. Nineveh, are you any better than the Thebes, the capital of Egypt? You're going to have to look that up. That right there, the capital of Egypt. She too had a river to protect her, like the wall. The Nile was her defense, like the oceans are our defense. She ruled Sudan and Egypt. There was no limit to her power. Libya was her ally, yet the people of Thebes were carried off into exile. At every street corner, their children were beaten to death. Their leading men were carried off in chains and divided among their captors. Nineveh, you too will fall into a drunken stupor. You too will try to escape from your enemies. All your fortresses will be like fig trees. With ripe figs, shake the tree, and the fruit falls right into your mouth. Your soldiers are like women, and your country stands defenseless before your enemies. Fire will destroy the bars across your gates. Draw water to prepare for a siege and strengthen your fortress. Trample the clay to make bricks and get the bricks molds ready. No matter what you do, you will still be burned to death or killed in battle. You will be wiped out like crops eaten up by locusts. You multiplied like locusts. You produced more merchants than there are stars in the sky. But now they are gone. Like locusts that spread their wings and fly away, your officials are like swarm of locusts that stay in the walls on a cold day. But when the sun comes out, they fly away, and no one knows where they are. They have gone. Emperor of Assyria, your governors are dead, and your noblemen are asleep forever. Your people are scattered on the mountains, and there is no one to bring them home again. There is no remedy for your injuries, and your wounds cannot be healed. All those who hear the news of your destruction clap their hands for joy. Did anyone escape your endless cruelty? You know, that's it. That's the book. And when I was thinking as I was reading this, it's like, how is it that I could have went to church for all those years and never heard of this book? And well, those of you who still go to church, if you ask your pastor, preacher, minister about it, will they know? Will they know about this book? I wonder. Will they know? Ask them. Hey, I just saw a book in the Bible I started to read. Tell me what it says and how it relates to us today. They'll know about it, but will they know off the cuff about it? That's the question. That is the question on the table. Like, there's no way we should be sitting here not knowing these things. No way. But you have to study to show yourself approved. However, in this day and time, with everything that's available to us, which may not be. In some ways, I keep thinking that all these books I have, nowhere to put, all over the place, here, there, are going to be valuable one day. Not in money. They already are in money right now. Some of them are. But I mean in having them and having this knowledge that I mean, some of this knowledge AI can't give you. It can give you, but not in the way that the author gave it to you. Not in that same spirit. Don't get me wrong. I use AI for a lot of things, and I love it. But, there's a spirit in books that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. It's different. It's just different. And that's someone who's a reader of bibliophiles will understand what I'm talking about right now. That spirit that's there. So, look, a messenger is coming. Now, this picture right here, I'm probably going to color it off camera, but I love it. I mean, that is a intricate little picture there. But I love it, the fall of Nineveh. So, now we know the book of Nahum is in the Old Testament. It's right towards the end because we're almost finished with the Old Testament. We don't have that many books to go. So, until next time, it's Ridea keeping it real.